Hello guys, and today I'm carrying on with the quest of doing every deck list in a video on my channel, and today I've got Chronomalies. So if you'd like to keep up to date with my decks, and if my decks have helped you or inspired you to make a deck, then please subscribe. Your support is appreciated and it keeps me going really. So anyway, getting onto this deck, I've got 3 Chronomaly Mower. If you control a face-up Chronomaly monster, you can special summon this card in face-up defense position. When it first came out, this was one of the main cards, and it was down to bringing out the castle thing in the extra deck. But now it's not needed as much, but I've put in 3 Mower because that card is good, and that's what I want to run around. There are other cards now that they've brought out which are later in the deck and help the deck quite a lot, but I'll come on to that. Next is 2 Chula Guardian, and if this goes face up field, if there's a face up field spell card on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only control 1 Chronomaly Chula Guardian, which is also a level 5, which means you can bring out this Machu Mech or Volcasaurus, which I put in there as well, another level 5, rank 5s which may be needed. But you can special summon that with its own effect if you've got the field spell up, and then special summon Mower through its own effect. Then you've got a rank 5 XYZ, easy enough. Now I've got 2 Nebra Disc. When this guy's number 7, you can add 1 Chronomaly card from your hand or from your deck to your hand, which can include the field spell, I'm pretty sure, yep. And if this card is in your graveyard and all face-up monsters you control are Chronomaly monsters, you can special summon this card from your graveyard in face-up defense position. You can activate cards or effects that only activate this effect except Chronomaly cards. You can use the 1 Chronomaly Nebra Disc once per effect. You can use 1 Chronomaly Nebra Disc effect per turn, and only once that turn. That was one of the newer cards as well. Same with this one, which is Aztec Mask Golem. During your turn, if you have activated a Chronomaly spell card previously this turn, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only control Chronomaly Aztec Mask Golem, which is good for rank 4 XYZs with either Nebra Disc, either the Golden Jet. But if you have Golden Jet and then one of these, you can increase both of them to bring out a level 5, rank 5 XYZ. You can even do it for a level 6 rank, XYZ. I've got 2 Golden Jet, which was in the original set with Mower, and once per turn you can increase the levels of all Chronomaly monsters you control by 1. So it's just really regulating the levels of the monster you have on the field to bring out the XYZ monsters. Next one is 3 Crystal Bones, and if you're in control of the monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. When you do, you can special summon 1 Chronomaly monster except for monster from your hand or graveyard except Chronomaly Crystal Bones. So you can bring out any of the deck, any of the monsters that you need, that you require at the time. So if you bring out like an Aztec Golem from your graveyard with this and use Nebra Disc's effect, you got a rank 4 XYZ. You can even bring out Crystal Skull, which is like Indiana Jones movie idea there, I'm guessing. And then XYZ with Nebra Bones. Is it Nebra Bones? No, Crystal Bones. To make a rank 3 XYZ. Next monster is Crystal Skull, and if you control a face-up Chronomaly monster, you can discard this card from your graveyard and 1 Chronomaly monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except Chronomaly Crystal Skull. The effect of Chronomaly Crystal Skull can only be used once per turn. So if you have like Golden Jet and you normal summon it, you can discard Crystal Skull to bring out Mower to your hand and use Mower's effect, or you can even do it for the Guardian or whatever you really need in your hand, and depends on the situation, as I've talked about in other videos. Depends on what you really want to do. The last monster is 3 Gordian Knot, and when this card's number 7, you can special 1 Chronomaly monster from your hand, and if you do, this card's level becomes the current level of that special summon monster, which is good for either rank 5 XYZs, rank 4 XYZ, basically all the XYZs in the extra deck. That's good for the Chronomalies. It's a good deck for basically bringing out XYZ monsters. That's what it does. Moving on to the spell cards, we've got 1 Rejeki and 3 Mystical Space Typhoon as the standard staple spells. Then we've got 3 Chronomaly Technology, which is target 1 Chronomaly monster in your graveyard, banish it, then look at the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 of them to your hand and send the other to the graveyard. You can only activate 1 Chronomaly Technology per turn. You can special summon any monsters the turn you activate this card except Chronomaly monsters. So if you activate Chronomaly Technology, you can bring out Aztec Golem with its own effect. And also with Chronomaly Technology, you can search through cards and add the ones to your hand you want. So it's good for getting cards you want or cycling cards you don't want. Then we've got 3 Chronomaly Pyramid Eye Tablet, which is all Chronomaly monsters you control gain angel attack, which is good because that's a little boost for your lower monsters, and also it gives a big boost to your XYZ monsters for getting over their high attack pesky monsters. Next I've got 2 Dark World Shackles, which is a good card for reducing their pesky monsters to 100 attack, then dealing them 500 during each of their standby phases. Each of my standby phases actually. but it's also for the Machu Mech effect, and I'll come back onto that later. We've got 3 of the field spell, which is Chronomaly City Babylon, and once per turn you can banish 1 Chronomaly monster from your graveyard, then target 1 Chronomaly monster in your graveyard with the same level as the banished monster and special in it, which is again for just bringing out monsters and then XYZing with them. It's really easy to bring out monsters in this deck and then XYZ summon with them. Then I've got the traps, which is basically the same as other decks. My staple traps, 3 threatening roll and 1 compulsory. You can change them if you want, they're just in there for being in there for the sake of being in there really, and extra protection. Then on to the extra deck, I've got 1 Chronomaly Chaos Atlantis, which is 3 level 7 monsters. If you activate this card's effect, your opponent takes no further damage this turn. Once then you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, equip that target to this card. That's equipped to a card whose effect makes this card gain 1,000 attack. If this card has number 6 Chronomaly Atlantis as an XYZ material, it gains this effect. You can attach 3 XYZ monsters from this card and send all number monsters. Send all monsters equipped to this card. All number monsters equipped to this card effect to the graveyard, minimum 1. Make your opponent's life points 100. That is really good effect, but it's really hard to bring out because Atlantis is only a rank 6, and that's a that requires a rank 7. So you have to have something that makes the rank up above. It's hard to bring out, but it's a good effect. Then this is 2 level 6 monsters. When this card is XYZ, you can target 1 number monster in your graveyard. Equip the target to this card. This card gains attack equal to half the attack of the equipped monster. Once per turn, you can touch 1 XYZ material monster from this card to send 1 monster equipped by this effect to the graveyard. Halve your opponent's life points. You cannot conduct your battle phase or turn you activate this effect, which is another good card for getting to them, but there's no number monsters in this deck, unfortunately. But you can put them in easy enough. Actually, Heartland Draco might be. Yeah, Heartland Draco you can equip to it. That's an Anarch. You can actually equip to them. Then I got Volcasaurus, which is once per turn you can attach 1 XYZ material from this card to target 1 face that monster your opponent controls. Destroy that target. Then inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's original attack. This card cannot attack during your opponent directly during it. This card cannot attack your opponent directly during the turn you activate this effect, which is good for getting over pesky monsters that are high attacking, and obviously you can't destroy with other effects. Then coming on to Machu Mech, which is once per turn you can attach 1 XYZ material from this card to target 1 face that monster your opponent controls. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference between its original attack and the current attack. And if you do, this card gains attack equal to the damage inflicted. So if you have shackles on one of their high monsters, then you bring out Machu Mech and use Machu Mech's effect. You deal the difference between their original attack, and then there's 100, so 100 less than their attack, their original attack. Then that gains it. So you can actually like OTK with this almost. They've got a 4,000 attacking monster or higher. You deal it's 100. It'll have 100 attack through shackles. Actually, no, it wouldn't have to have 4,000. You could do it with quite a lot, actually. It'll have 100 attack, so they take like 3,900 damage, but for example. Then Machu Mech will gain 3,900 attack, then you attack, and that's OTK. Boom, dead. Which is good. It's OP. Don't know why other people don't do this, but it's probably just a little slower to bring out than current decks this time, really. Then we've got Anarch. Just does what it does, and it's the number monster for Atlantis. Then we've got 2 Chronomaly Chateau Hoyuk, which is 2 level 4 Chronomaly monsters. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can dash 1 XYZ material from this card, then target 1 face that monster your opponent controls. That monster attack becomes 0 until the end of this turn. You choose 1 Chronomaly monster, then target 1 monster your opponent controls whose current attack is different from its original attack, and destroy that target. So you can either use that both effects together to destroy a monster they have, or if you make it 0 and then use Machu Mech's effect, again that can deal some serious damage. Then we've got Heartland Draco, which does what it does, and it's got number again for Atlantis. Then we've got 2 Chronomaly Chrononaut, which is 2 level 3 monsters. Once per turn when this card is targeted for an attack, you can touch 1 XYZ material from this card. This turn this card cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. Also your opponent takes any battle damage you would take from battle involving this card. So you can use it just to attack one of their high monsters and they take the damage instead, which can finish them off really. I've done that before. Then the last card I've got in here is Zenmains, which does what it does. It's just a staple XYZ monster. I'd keep in the Chronomaly monsters and the amount I put in, but you can also just cycle through other rank 5s, rank 4s, rank 3s, and whatnot, and whatever you want to put in really. But I just suggest keeping the Chronomalies in, but it's up to you really. But anyway, thank you for watching this. This is another video in my quest of doing every deck list in a video, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this helps you in building your Chronomaly deck. See you next time, guys. Thank you for watching again.